Hello, guys. This is Barry Eagle, CEO and President of Crown Hotel and Travel Management, coming to you live today on our social media platforms to do another Briefings with Barry. I'm here with Jacob Hill, our General Manager in the Weaverville, Asheville, Fairfield Inn. Say hello, Jacob.
Hi, everybody.
It's great to see you. You look fantastic. Tell me how you're doing so far after this hurricane.
It's been a very good learning opportunity. We'll say that because
I'm sure.
No one really prepares you for what we went through, and we got really fortunate that we pretty much weren't damaged. But it was the second biggest hurricane of this century to hit America, so it's been a wild ride. But we did about as well as we could have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in a few minutes. So, why don't you tell the audience that's tuning in today to take a look at this new Briefings with Barry. Tell them a little bit about Jacob Hill, who you are, what your hobbies are, where you're from, all the good things about you, Jacob.
I was really happy when I found out that Crown is based in Wilmington because I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. So I'm very much I spent too much time on the beach and didn't really go to high school. And then somehow graduated, ended up at Mars Hill. I absolutely love Asheville. I've been here for about 10 years. Really enjoy living in the mountains. And now I get to do what I enjoy every day, which is run a hotel.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Tell us a little bit about your experience. You used to be at the Grove Park Inn. That's one of the things that impressed us about you. And obviously you were a manager on the staff. So tell me some of the things you're bringing from the Grove Park Inn to the Fairfield Inn in Weaverville that you've kind of taken hold of and that you're proud of.
So I started off as an independent property as a night auditor, like a lot of us did, and learned a lot of the basics. But then as I kind of slowly moved up, I wanted to kind of just take care of guests more. And that's why I wanted to go to luxury, where every experience can be a unique experience. It can be whether it's an anniversary, a birthday, a graduation, something like that. It was really cool sharing that and creating memories that would last a lifetime. So I got to work at a few luxury hotels. The last one I worked at was Grove Park, which was absolutely insane. But you learn a lot there and you get to deal with a lot of very interesting experiences. And then part of me wanted to kind of have more control, but have it over a smaller circle. And so I wanted to go back to kind of a select service hotel. So I was really excited to see this opportunity. And I'm trying to kind of merge the experience of luxury with kind of being able to share it with more people, which is what we're able to do here. And so far we're trying to do that. It's finding a balance though. But even here, like our breakfast is a lot better and that's helped a lot of people. We're working on landscaping. Like we're trying to still create memorable experiences, but we want to be able to share it with more people, which has been very rewarding so far.
That's good. Well, look, you've done a phenomenal job since you've gotten here. You've been with us, 6 months, 7 months now?
Yeah, I made it easy on myself because my first day was July 1st. So that's the only way I was able to actually remember it. But so close to 5 months here.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about your experience with Crown. What have you found that you liked about Crown, and maybe you will tell me some of the things we need to improve at Crown. I don't know if you're going to say this on a national platform, but so tell us a little bit of the things you really have enjoyed about working with us at Crown.
I'll save it for the email after the video conference. But,
okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have no complaints whatsoever. I kind of feel like the expat because I'm 4 hours away from you guys, but I get to talk to you guys all by email. Tiffany visits all the time. I like Crown, and it's hard for me to separate between Barry and Crown, but you guys have good vision. You care about taking care of the customers, and it's nice to be in a home where I care about the customers a lot. It's a lot easier to do a good product, have people come back, than have a lot of one-night stays and have a lot of bad reviews. I don't want that. I want people that enjoy this hotel. They're like, hey, that's where I go when I go to Weaverville, and Crown supports me, and I think we share the same vision on that of take care of the guests, and it makes it very easy to work there and very enjoyable.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate that. Well, you make it easy for us to run that hotel. Jacob, you take full command, full control over it. You run it like you own it, and that's what we expect from all of our general managers. And you've definitely done that from the very beginning, and you continue to do that. Tell us a little bit about the Hurricane Helene, and what you experienced, and maybe what you learned from yourself during that experience, because I know we couldn't get in touch with you for almost 3 days. While we were working behind the scenes to try to get you help at the point. We had no clue what was going on, but I had complete trust you were running the hotel at the highest level. And obviously from some of the comments I've gotten from guests that stayed during that time frame, you absolutely did that. But tell me from your own personal experience what it was like, and what do what you kind of learned from it after everything's kind of settled down now.
Yeah, of course. It was interesting because I was working that morning actually, and I was driving to work, and I'm like, it's going to be a rainy day. I checked the weather, but it's going to be nice on Saturday and Sunday. We'll get through today, and then it's going to be a nice weekend. And that just wasn't how it was. I got there, the winds kept picking up. The doors kind of flung open at one point because a gust came through our parking lot that must have been 60 or 70 miles an hour. And then we lost power, and then we lost water, and then we lost communication. And it just was kind of I don't think anyone thought it was going to be a tenth as bad as it was.
Right.
And it just kind of kept getting worse, and we had no communication. So I knew Crown was doing their thing, and eventually I got a message from you guys, but you lose power and you think that it's going to come back on in a few hours, and it was days, not hours. So we did our best. We tried to communicate with our guests. I had enough employees show up that we were able to maintain a semblance of normalcy. The guests helped out a lot, and ultimately we were able to get through it. There's no playbook for it. We just had to figure it out day by day. And eventually Tiffany showed up the third day, which was a huge help. I had more and more employees show up. Thankfully, they weren't too affected by it. Then it's been an interesting last like 4 to 6 weeks of getting back to being a normal hotel. Thankfully, we weren't physically damaged too much, which really helped out.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about that. And you were able to have some pretty important groups stay with us for a little while that were helping out in the market as well. So, well, tell me what you learned about yourself during this process.
I like a challenge is what I'll say. I really, it was interesting. It was more or less going to hotel boot camp because you had 4 days of chaos, and then I haven't opened a hotel before, but this was a pretty similar experience, I would figure, to opening a hotel because you got to get all the services turned back on. We still have one more service we need to get turned on, but things have largely gone back to normal, and it really taught me to kind of communicate a little bit better, to get my staff to help me a little bit more, and I can't thank them enough. They were a huge part of why they were the reason we were able to make it through so fine. Really kind of helped me because if you can get through a hurricane, an average Tuesday or Wednesday with 30 check-ins suddenly is, a little bit more manageable.
That's true. Yeah, true. No doubt about it. It puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. So tell me a little bit about Jacob. What's your goals? Do you have a 5-year plan? Obviously we want to see you grow with our company, but where do you kind of see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years with your growth, being such a young general manager and having a lot of experience, but still being new to running your own facility, which you're doing now. So tell me a little bit about what you think, where you'd like to be going in the next few years.
My immediate plan was kind of for the first 6 months, try to really learning something every day and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. I still have a lot of goals for this property, and I still want to learn a lot more. My kind of immediate goal in terms of like the next 6 months is to kind of become one of the top 10 Fairfields in the country. And we've had moments where we were, depending on which metric you looked at, close to getting there. But we have so much more work to do to get there. And so it's like, I want to figure out this hotel first, get the staff where I want them, get the training where I want them, get the guest scores where I want it. And then after that, it's kind of expand the circle a little bit more. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm hoping Crown opens another hotel in Weaverville at some point in the future.
Yeah.
And I think that would be an interesting challenge I don't know if I'm ever going to be up to being a director of operations or a regional director, but I think having 1 or 2 hotels in an area would help you. It's a lot easier to do a job if you can do the job above you. And that would kind of help me with learning more about hotels and taking care of more people and developing more staff. So
yeah, well, that's great.
Get this hotel figured out and then kind of go from there. But I have a lot of work and a lot more goals for this place in terms of just making the guest experience incredible and trying to take care of everyone that stays with us.
Well, I will tell you, you probably don't know this, but one of my friends stayed at the hotel a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't tell me. He forgot that we operated and owned this property, and so we were sitting having dinner. And he said, I went to a wedding in Weaverville, and I said, well, where'd you stay? He said, I stayed at some Marriott there, and I was, I was not going, that's our hotel, you dummy. And he just laughed. And he goes, it was fantastic. He said the breakfast was great. The place was clean. He said, was the general manager a young guy with the suit and tie on? I said, I'm pretty sure that was probably Jacob. He said he was very engaging. He did a great job. And so just kudos to you. Kudos to your team. The one thing that I hate is that you are not 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes down the road where I could come hang out with you a little bit more. But I am coming before December 31st.
We look forward to it. We've got the red carpet ready for you, Barry.
All right. Well, just give me a broom and a mop. That's all I need. I don't need a red carpet, so I'm good to go. So, but yeah, I'm planning to come. I've got, I'm trying to get somebody to make, I can't drive long distances like I used to, so I have to be very careful. I have to have somebody drive me. So, trying to find chauffeurs to help me out is not always easy, but I think I've got it squared away. But I think it's going to be probably late second week of December that I'm coming up there, at least for a couple of days and hanging out. So hopefully that all works out. But what questions do you have for me? Every once in a while, I'll open it up to the people that are being interviewed to ask me a question.
I don't want you to pick a favorite, so I'll exclude the Crown hotels. But what's your favorite hotel outside of Crown that you've stayed at?
Wow, that's a pretty tough. But my favorite hotel that I stayed outside of Crown's hotels, probably Charleston Place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Charleston, South Carolina. I've stayed at a couple places there. The Front Street Inn, I think it's what it was called, but the Charleston Place was probably the most luxurious place I've ever stayed in. Trying to figure out why was I staying there when I was the rates that we were paying. My wife chose the property at that time. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I think that's one of my favorite places to go. It's been a lot. I stayed at the Biltmore Inn one time. That's one of my favorite places to stay, at the Biltmore Inn. I had won a raffle to get a free night there. Don't think I could afford to stay there today, but definitely enjoyed that as well. So what about what's your favorite hotel that you've ever stayed outside of Crown?
I was in Vail, and this wasn't during winter. Again, there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. I don't have the funds for this, but I was in Vail staying at the Tivoli, and we got upgraded to like the presidential suite or whatever. It had like multiple fireplaces in it, and nothing I did to deserve that, but it was just an incredible stay. Had a great time in Vail, and there definitely is a soft spot in my heart for luxury experiences and stuff that you remember long after you've departed the hotel.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It is a different experience, and it's appreciated. Well, look, I appreciate you bringing that luxury experience to our property in the Asheville, Weaverville market. I know that you have a high standard of excellence, just like I expect. I really, truly appreciate that. We need to do everything we can to take care of our guests. As our mission statement says, our guests are priority one, and we want to make sure that they are treated like gold. And if they don't have a good experience, that we're trying to make it right somehow, some way. So that's always our goal at Crown. And I think all of our GMs and all of our operations teams and all of our corporate and all of our associates, even our business partners and investors, all understand that that's our goal. Sometimes we slip and fall. We're not perfect, but at the end of the day, we do care about the experience. And you're a leader by example, Jacob, and I appreciate that. You definitely, you walk the walk and talk the talk. So it's a good combination. It's definitely in your blood. Hospitality's in your blood. There's no doubt about it, and I appreciate that. So, any other questions for me before we wrap up today?
That's it. If I had a second, I would say thank you to Crown and thank you to you, Barry. I'm really glad that I have a company that supports me, and I really like feeling the love all the time, and I like to be empowered to take care of the guests to the extent that I think makes sense for everyone.
Yes, it does. Yeah, we definitely, I think we do our best to empower all of our own frontline associates and leaders to run it like you own it. Run it like you own it. You got to do it. You got to make quick decisions. You can't be bogged down waiting for people, and so you just continue to do what you're doing. So, look, I'm going to end this show today. Let me just say a couple of things real quick. For those who watched today, we just want to say thank you so much for watching all of our briefings with Barry's and all the things that we put on our social platforms. Continue to follow us. We are growing exponentially. We've got 6 to 7 new projects. We're working on 3 new ones that we're trying to get under contract. We've got a lot of things going on with our company, great things with our growth. I'm very proud of our team. Jacob is an example of, a person that we see as a long-term associate for us and the leader of our company that's going to be in bigger and more important roles than just being at the level at the hotel. So we're excited to kind of show him off to all those people that are out there. But again, thank you for watching. We hope that you'll continue to follow us. And if you stay at a Crown Hotel, we hope you have a great experience. And we do appreciate your business at all times. So that's it, Jacob. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.
Have a great day. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.